Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Help 777, where we talk about everything foreclosure related. Hey guys, this is my private Facebook group, Foreclosure Help 777. You're welcome to join us, or you can also follow my YouTube channel, and thank you for subscribing if you have. Today we're going to talk about reverse mortgages. A lot of people have contacted me and said they'd like to see me do a video on reverse mortgages. A lot of people don't understand them, but this video, hopefully after you've watched it, you'll get a better understanding of reverse mortgages. So let's get started. Okay, so this presentation is called Reverse Mortgages Are Not Automatic Foreclosures, a Defense Playbook for Heirs. What a reverse mortgage really is. Let's talk about the key points. Reverse mortgages are available to homeowners that are age 62 and older. There's no monthly payments while the borrower lives in the home. The loan balance grows over time, and most of these are HECMS, HUD, or FHA insured. What a reverse mortgage actually is. A reverse mortgage is not just a mortgage with no payments. It is a loan program that converts home equity into cash without monthly payment while the borrower lives in the home. Instead of the balance going down over time, the balance increases because interest and fees are added monthly. Most reverse mortgages are home equity conversion mortgages. That's what the HECM stands for. And it's insured by FHA and governed by HUD. Are there two notes and two mortgages? Short answer is yes. A typical HECM reverse mortgage you may see. Note number 1, the borrower's reverse mortgage note. This is the main promissory note, and it governs advances to the borrower, interest accrual, and when the loan becomes due. This is the note that usually is enforced in foreclosure, by the way. Note number 2 is the HUD or loan agreement, the second note, which is contingent, sometimes called a loan agreement or second note or shared appreciation contingent interest instrument. It's tied to HUD. It governs FHA reimbursement, HUD's rights if the loan goes upside down. This is often misunderstood or misused in foreclosure filings. The mortgage or deed of trust is the security instrument. And there's two of them. Okay, the first one secures a primary reverse mortgage note. It's recorded against the property. This is what the foreclosure relies on. The mortgage deed of trust number 2, the HUD secondary instrument, sometimes is recorded, sometimes referenced but not enforced directly. It exists to protect HUD or FHA. This two-instrument structure is why chain of title problems are so common. Can you get a reverse mortgage if you already have a mortgage? This is a good question. Yes, but with an important condition. If a homeowner already has a first mortgage or home equity loan or other liens, the reverse mortgage must be in the first position. What that means is the reverse mortgage proceeds are used to pay off the existing mortgage first, then any remaining funds go to the borrower. So technically you can tap equity, but you cannot keep your old first mortgage alongside a reverse mortgage. That's a huge source of confusion. Reverse mortgages versus HELOCs. Let's clarify this. A reverse mortgage is not a HELOC or a second mortgage. It is not a refinance or a shared equity agreement. Remember that HELOCs require monthly payments. Reverse mortgages do not require monthly payments until death or move out. Why servicers mess this up so often? Reverse mortgages can sit dormant for years. They can transfer between servicers, just like they do with, New Res, Shell Point, and we know all the players, guys. They transfer a lot. They involve HUD approval and aren't actively paid. So when death occurs, servicers scramble. Paperwork is incomplete. Assignments are late or not filed at all, right guys? Standing defects surface. This is why heirs must demand proof. Okay, guys, let's talk about what happens when the borrower dies. Here's a simple timeline. The borrower dies, the loan becomes due and payable. The servicer sends notice. Heirs get time, but not immediate foreclosure. Death triggers options, not foreclosure, guys. The 95% rule. It's very important, so pay attention. HUD's rule. Heirs may keep the home by paying the lesser of the loan balance or 95% of the current appraised value. And why this matters. Many reverse mortgages are upside down. Heirs often overpay because they don't know this. Also, it's important to understand this, that heirs are not personally liable. There are key protections here. Reverse mortgages are non-recourse. Heirs do not inherit the personal liability to pay it. The lender's only remedy is against the property. You cannot owe more than the house is worth. Standing still matters. This is the game changer, guys. The core legal rule. Only a party entitled to enforce the note may foreclose. This applies to forward mortgages, reverse mortgages, after the borrower's death. Death does not cure standing defects. Here's some common chain of title problems in reverse mortgages. Red flags. Red flags heirs should look for. The note is endorsed only to original lender. Missing or late allonges, or allonges that are not attached to the note. Assignments after the borrower's death is a big one. MERS transfers without authority. Well, we see that a lot in regular mortgages. It happens with reverses as well. Servicer foreclosing without proof it owns the note. Plenty of that going around too. If the chain is broken, foreclosure authority collapses. Now, HUD rules are mandatory, not suggestions. For these loans, these HECMS, servicers must issue proper due and payable notices. They must grant extensions for up to 12 months. They must obtain appraisals correctly. They must get HUD approval before foreclosure. Failure equals improper foreclosure. Keep those in mind, guys. How heirs fight a reverse mortgage foreclosure. Here's a defense playbook. First, demand proof of standing. Demand the full note and allonges. Demand assignments. Demand HUD authorization. Force compliance before foreclosure. And important, no tender required to challenge standing. Heirs lose nothing by demanding proof. And what not to do, and this might save you guys. Don't sign assumption paperwork. Don't admit the debt is enforceable. Don't rush to sell. Don't miss extension deadlines. And don't trust the servicer's explanation, because we know they lie. Servicers do not volunteer heir rights. How these cases usually end. Real outcomes. The foreclosure is withdrawn. Long delays while servicer fixes defects. Settlement at 95% of the value. HUD takes assignment and restarts. Heirs refinance and keep the home. Foreclosure is often the last resort, not the first. So, final takeaways. Reverse mortgages are not automatic foreclosures. Heirs have time, leverage, and choices. Standing and chain of title still matter. HUD rules are enforceable. And knowledge changes the outcome. Now, step by step, what the heir should do first. First, send a written notice of death immediately. Send a letter certified and regular mail, and email if possible, stating that the borrower has passed away, the date of death. The sender is an heir or successor in interest, and the property address and loan number. Attach a copy of the death certificate, but don't send them the original. Send it to the servicer and any foreclosure counsel involved. Assert successor in interest status. The letter should clearly say, I am a lawful successor in interest and request confirmation of my status. This triggers federal protections under RESPA Regulation X 12 CFR 1024. This is not optional language, it's strategic. Demand written confirmation and information. The first letter should also request confirmation of successor status, a copy of the note and mortgage or deed of trust, all assignments and allonges, the current loan balance, the foreclosure status, if any, the HUD case number if reverse mortgage. This forces them transparency. And do not make these mistakes. These are early killers. Do not call and explain. Do not sign an assumption or repayment agreements. Do not admit the debt is valid. Do not promise to pay. Do not miss deadlines. What this first step accomplishes by doing this, the heir locks in extension rights, preserves standing defenses, preserves HUD protections, controls the narrative, and buys time to decide whether to keep the house, sell, refinance, or walk away. What comes next, but not first? Only after written notice is sent should the heir open probate if needed, analyze the chain of title, request appraisals, explore refinancing, consider litigation if foreclosure is threatened. Now, let's look at judicial versus non-judicial. These are different battlefields and different strategies. The big picture difference, one sentence each. Judicial foreclosure states, the lender must go to court first and prove it has the right to foreclose. Non-judicial foreclosure states, the lender can foreclose outside of the court unless the homeowner or heir forces the issue into court. So the single distinction changes everything. Judicial foreclosure states like New York, New Jersey, Florida, PA, Oklahoma, Illinois, what a foreclosure looks like. The lender files the lawsuit. Borrower, heirs are the defendants. The court supervises the process. Foreclosure requires a judge's order. Why this helps heirs. In judicial states, standing must be proven. Chain of title is fair game. HUD compliance can be enforced. Defects can lead to dismissal or vacatur or restart the case. Heir strategy in judicial states, the primary tools are motion to dismiss for lack of standing, motion to vacate if there's procedural defects, opposition to the summary judgment if they get that far, discovery, you get the notes and allonges and assignments and can prove that they're defective, HUD condition precedent defenses. Key advantage, the lender must convince a judge, not just the trustee. Reverse mortgage bonus in judicial states. HUD compliance failures are conditions precedent. Borrower's death plus lack of substitution equals jurisdictional defects. Courts are more willing to stop or unwind improper foreclosures. Okay, let's look at non-judicial states like California, Texas, Colorado, Arizona, Georgia, etc. What a foreclosure looks like. No lawsuit is required. Trustee records the notices of default, notice of sale. Sale happens unless it's stopped. Court involvement is optional unless the homeowner or heir acts. Why this is dangerous for heirs. In non-judicial states, the lender does not have to prove standing up front. So, chain of title defects are hidden. Foreclosures can move very fast. Silence equals consent. Heir strategy in non-judicial states is very different. In non-judicial states, heirs must go on offense early. The primary tools, you want to send the demand letters and QWRs, notice errors, HUD complaints, if it's a reverse mortgage, a TRO, an injunction to stop the sale, or a quiet title. You want to ask for declaratory relief, wrongful foreclosure actions. You force the lender into court, basically, or the sale happens. Standing still matters, but timing is everything. So if you see here, if it's a judicial state or versus non-judicial state, standing is raised defensively in judicial and raised affirmatively in non-judicial. The chain of title is challenged in the case, and in non-judicial, it's forced in through discovery. Court involvement is automatic in judicial states and optional unless it's forced in non-judicial states. The speed in a judicial state is slower and a non-judicial is faster. The heir risk is moderate in judicial and high if passive in non-judicial. So, here's a reverse mortgage twist. Reverse mortgage servicers hate judicial scrutiny. In judicial states, HUD violations stop cases cold. Standing defects are exposed. In non-judicial state, services rely on speed and confusion. HUD rules and standing challenges are often ignored until they're sued. This is why heirs must act faster in non-judicial states. What heirs must do first by system: judicial state heirs must file an answer or appearance. They must raise standing immediately, raise HUD condition precedent defenses, force proof through discovery. In non-judicial states, seek written notice and successor assertion, demand standing proof, track sale dates closely, file your TRO or injunction before the sale, and litigate affirmatively if needed. Okay guys, I hope this information has been helpful for y'all about reverse mortgages. They're a lot like regular mortgages, but different. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below or send me an email to foreclosurehelp777@gmail.com. And it's spelled just like this with the number 4. And as always, guys, everyone have a blessed day.